Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. Now, hey, look, we're going to talk about some things, and the first thing we're going to talk about is how you doing after Labor Day. You know, a lot of you went out and you had picnics and all that kind of stuff, and but we, in the last week or so, we had some terrible rain, but I know that most of you are trying to recover, get ready for work and all that kind of stuff. The Congress and the President, all of them are getting their agenda together, the county council. So it's the federal government, the state government, everybody got something that they're trying to pass, get over to somebody else. And what would benefit the masses? That's the main thing. All these governments, the federal, the state, and the county government, and the city government, all of these people are sitting there. They're making decisions for the masses. Have you volunteered, or are you participating in the process? That's what you have to do. That's what one of the things I'm emphasizing today. Are you sitting at home complaining about what these different governments are doing, or are you active? What you have to do, you have to get involved. A lot of you people, you sit at home, you complain when the federal government, the state government, the county government, and the city government does something. But how many of you go to the meetings? Most of you don't. You sit back and you don't like something, and you don't sit down and get a group together and say, let's fight this, whatever it is. Most of the time you just complain. Masses of the people complain, and a few people make the decision. Hey, look at that ratio. What have you done, and what are you doing besides complaining? Are you taking part in your democratic government, or are you sitting at home complaining? Hey, that's a good way to start the show, because the next thing I want to talk about is the health plan. President Obama, now he presented this health plan, and it's a shame. It was not just national speech, it was international speech. Then we had one I would say congressman, spoil the image for the whole United States by acting, out of character. Out of character, never been done before. And people like that, you need to know. And when you put them in office, what kind of individual that you're putting in there to represent you. Now, as far as the health plan is concerned, the president told you clearly, say, hey, look, we have a good plan. The senators, the representatives, we all have good plans. And who are those plans paid by? They're paid by you. You're paying theirs. And the only thing the president is trying to do is get the two groups, the Senate and the congressmen, to sit down and come up with a plan to benefit you, the masses. And they seem to have a problem. I just don't understand why our representatives are having problems giving the masses something that they need. Now, everybody needs health care. I don't care whether you're blue, green, or polka dot. You need health care eventually. If you don't need it, somebody in your family needs it. And if you live long enough, you're going to need it. No ifs and ands, buts about it. So the only thing the president is trying to do is get information from individuals, not be chastised like that individual did. Whoever elected him to office, they need to look at that. The individual, here we are on international TV, and he makes a spectacle of himself, spectacle of our government. It's never been done before. And that's my commentary on the health plan. And as far as the health plan is concerned, don't sit home and complain about it. Do something about it. What have you done lately as far as the health plan is concerned? Those two things. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about how much the two wars cost. About the grandchildren who have to pay for the two wars. The grandchildren's going to have to pay for the health plan too. But nobody complains about the money being spent on war. They're complaining about the money they're going to spend on health plan, which every living soul, I don't care who you are, how much money you have, you're going to need a health plan. And I mean, I can't emphasize the fact that the people are sitting there, and the representatives are really making the United States look bad. All over the entire world, they heard the message. They heard this individual come up and call the president a liar, you know. And I mean, the protocol there was just awful. And whoever he represents, they need to boot him out, because that's not the type of representation this country needs. But anyway, as far as the health plan, that's the big thing that's going on. Hey, get involved in it. Don't say they're going to do what they want anyway. That's an excuse. And that's what America needs to stop doing, making excuses for wrongdoing. All right? Okay, I'm finished with that's the commentary as far as the health plan is concerned. But there's another plan that hasn't come up yet. And you know what that plan is? That plan is education. Everybody, why is it we're number one country economically, but why is it education is not free? In other countries in the world, Scandinavians are good examples of that. Why is it that education and health, here we supposedly have the best economy in the world, and we have to fight for basic things like education and health? It's a shame. And we Americans, we all should be ashamed. The fact how Congress is bickering over the most important thing in our lives. That's education and health. And that's what I'm talking about. And what are you doing? The idea is that you have to get involved. What your congressman or whatever they're doing, because they're doing what they want to do, not what you want to do. How many of you out there feel that you need health and education? Hey, give me a call. I'm sure it's many of you out there. You don't worry about paying for the war, but you're going to worry about paying for the education and the health. Hey, that parallel, no comparison, none at all. Okay, I'm finished with that commentary. Well, first of all, I hope you had a nice summer and everything, and that you're going to get involved in your local government, wherever it is, anywhere in the world. Get involved in your local government, because if you don't get involved in your local government, they're going to do what they want. When they do what they want, then you're not going to be satisfied. I don't care what it is. If they're passing out $20 bills, some of you going to complain about yours being wrinkled. So anything you do, there's going to be some kind of complaint about it. So get involved. I don't care where you're located, whether you're in the United States, Russia, China, or wherever. Whatever it is, get involved. And you can change things if you get involved. So, hey, that's for all the YouTube people, too. Over there in Australia, I just received a commentary from Australia about the show and everything, and all over the country, all over the world. But to me, the health plan is something that we need. And the other item is the education. What about education? Let's think in terms of your grandchildren. Hey, you worried about that war? The war, we always have wars. If you're not going to have education because you have a war, then no one would be educated, because we fight all the time. We fight each other. We fight at home. It's fights all the time. So you have to set a priority. What's your priority? Is your priority war, or is it education and health? Education and health helps everybody. Very few people die from lack of education. Very few people actually pass because of lack of education and health plan. If you don't have a health plan, you can't go to the doctor, you're gone, right? Okay. Well, like I said, I hope that you had a nice summer.